He was born Tracy Marrow, but to rap fans and moviegoers these days, he's just plain Ice-T, one of the hardest of the hardcore rappers. Originally from New Jersey, Ice was farmed out to Los Angeles at an early age. There, he began hanging out with hustlers on the gang-ridden streets of South Central L.A., and before long was making a living as a small-time thief. By chance, he was offered a part in the 1984 movie Breakin', and by 1987, he'd released his first album, RHYME Pays. Dennis Hopper heard about Ice and hired him to write the theme song for his gang war movie Colors. That song, with its corrosive depiction of life and death on the mean ghetto streets of Los Angeles, made Ice-T a star. The messages in his music are aimed at street kids, and they're delivered with a sometimes scary edge to which those kids can relate. Ice himself continues to broaden his horizons as an actor in the surprise hit film New Jack City and as a thrash band leader with his new group Body Count. He was a major attraction on this year's Lollapalooza tour, and given his versatility and his limitless ambition, he seems likely to be with us for years to come.
Do you remember much about your childhood when you were growing up in New York, in Newark?
Well, I was born in Newark, New Jersey, but I lived in a little suburb called Summit, New Jersey,
I know what that is.
which is like I might have been the only black kid in the town, as far as I'm concerned. It was like a real small, I think my street was like one of the only black streets. Yeah. And it was a nice type environment. My mother passed when I was in the 3rd grade, and I lived with my father, and he would move around to East Orange, and sometimes he would stay in New York. But I was kind of non-employed back in the days. I don't really recollect too much about living out here. I moved to Los Angeles when I was like in the 7th grade. Yeah. So I really didn't run the streets too much. I remember the snow. I remember playing, you know.
Your father had been killed? Is that what happened?
When I was in the 7th grade. He just showed up dead. And I didn't investigate it because I was in the 7th grade. Yeah. Don't ask too many questions. And I went to L.A. to live with an aunt who really didn't want me. It was kind of like something that might have been in the will or something. But and she had already raised her 2 sons, so it was like, here's another kid. And I was just like rowdy. You know, she had these things called rules and regulations. Turned into one of those kids that they say, we can't do anything with them.
Incorrigible.
Yeah, because I realized they couldn't kill me, you know, and they would tell me to stay in the room, and I would just leave. And when I found out that they really couldn't control me, you know, I started getting kind of crazy, and I got, you know, didn't really get in trouble, though.
Were you ever at a point where you heard stuff coming out of New York and you realized this was becoming a musical form?
Okay, the musical form happened when I was in the Army. I was in the Army. I did 4 years in the Army, and I was buying a lot of DJ equipment because everybody in the service buys stereo equipment. Right. That's all they sell, the PX. So I heard this record called Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. I'm like, oh, I said, I can do this. You know, I can do this. So it had an instrumental on the other side, and I was trying to rap over the beat. That's when I first tried to do it to music.
Did you think it was like an uphill battle coming from L.A. and trying to do this thing? I mean, was there a...
Well, I didn't think you would ever get no money out of it. I didn't think it was something you could get money out of. I just thought it was something to do. Yeah. And I wanted to be able to do it when I got home.
So New Jack City, they just call you up out of nowhere and say, hey, we want you to play a cop.
Man. No, what happened was I was out at this club, and I was with these chicks, right? So I had all these, like, fly girls around me, you know what I'm saying? Ice-T style. I'm like with all these chicks. So Mario Van Peebles sees me. So I thought he was skeezing the girls. I'm like, yeah, he's trying to get with the girls. So, Ice, I want you to be in a movie. I'm like, yeah, right, this is Leslie, you know. So after he did that, he said, yo, I'm serious, I want you to be in this movie. I'm like, cool, whatever, call me. So he called me. So they said, come up to Warner Brothers, we want you to check out this part. We wrote it for you. Right. So they said, we want you to play this part. It's a gangster movie. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm like, a lot of shooting? Mm-hmm. Money? Yeah. I get to dress fly? Yeah. So I'm who? You're a cop. Huh? A cop? What are y'all trying to do to me, man? I hate the police. If you lost your mind. So